Got me corn, beetle, little one. Got me beer. Got me oats. What did I forget? Oh, my snail bait. Anyway, we're going to talk about snails first, but I didn't expect to get any corn off this little batch here. This is a little trial I did with the veg pod, folks. Had it lying around and filled it up with our stuff in it and literally walked away. Did bugger all as far as maintenance. But I am going to come now, rejuvenate it all, and I didn't expect this. Not bad. I've left it on the plate for too long. That's all I can say. Not as sweet as it would have been if I had harvested while the plant still had sap flow. I got corn stuck everywhere now. Anyway, what we're talking here about is snails, because last night I came out, and like I said to you, don't judge the quality here, because I've done it purposely to let it run out. But what I did come out here and do last night was harvest the little cauliflower and broccoli plants. These have been in, I don't know how long, to be honest with you, at least 9 months. We did a harvest already and I didn't pull them out. And then we got a second harvest. Put this aside for now. Just leave it here. And what I did notice when I came out last night, as I did yesterday's video on the kale that we spoke about, it was just covered in snails. If you've got plants that look like this, really holly, see all these little holes? Well, that's pretty much your snails doing that damage, all sizes and shapes, and they come out, you know, in the middle of the night. I was out here about 9:30 harvesting, and I could almost say that every leaf was covered with multiple snails. So let's talk about treating snails. There are many ways you can do it. You can use a chemical-based one, which are effective, but not good for the soil itself, and not good for anything else around it especially. Or you can use a natural base. Now, we've got a snail bait that we like using. This one has actually been certified as organic, and it's meant to be around safe around pets as well. But look, again, if you have got pets and you're putting snail bait down, always have a sharp eye out for them, because some pets are attracted, others aren't, and you just don't want them to eat anything like this in the garden. So if you are worried about pets, well, don't use this. I mean, even though it states it is safe, you're better to be safe than sorry, as they say. So this is a snail bait that Eradicate Eco, it's what it's called. I'm going to put some of this around the base, because what I'm going to do is a trial here, folks. I'm going to put a little bit of Eco Eradicate, or Eradicate Eco, around the base here, but I'm also going to use two other options as far as, you know, attracting, trapping, and getting the snails out of the garden, killing them off. The other one's beer. Now, we're not endorsing any beer here or anything like that, or alcohol, as for consumption. It's still good. It's tempting. Carp. And the other one is oats here, folks. So we've got some rolled oats here. Now, snails are attracted to the oats. They'll actually eat this, and you know what happens with oats. When you hydrate them inside the gut of the snail, it'll hydrate, swell up, and give them some blockages that they'll never experience again in their life, because they won't be around after they eat it. So what we're going to do here is sprinkle some Eradicate Eco around the base here. I'm going to have to remove some of these bottom leaves. Now, the snails will tend to hide on the plant during the daytime, and some of them will actually be off the plant and crawl back up again at night. Not often that will happen, but you'll find there are still plenty around the garden. And if you've got a raised garden bed, the areas to look for around the perimeter of the garden bed, not so much inside the middle where the soil is. I'm just looking around here, feeling around. If there are any snails, let's hope there are no spiders. No, there's no snails here. I must have got rid of them all last night. Nevertheless, Eradicate Eco, you only need a pinch. This is just over a pinch to do a square metre. I'm just making some room here. You don't need to put a hell of a lot of this stuff. They should be attracted to it quite easily. So it's hard to see what I'm doing, but I've got more here than I need for this little space. Just spread that out like that. That's all you need to do. It will last probably 3 to 5 days, depending on the weather and the amount of watering you do in the garden. Because over time, overnight especially, when it starts, you know, condensation comes through, it'll start to hydrate a little bit, and give it a couple of days, it'll start to swell out. It'll lose its I suppose, ability to control the snails efficiently. And with oats, a similar thing happens with them. So if they hydrate, obviously the oats will swell up as well. But in the meantime, I mean, they'll eat that still, and it'll still continue to swell, because oats, they take a long time to get to their full, size again. So what we're going to do with this is sprinkle some of this around the base as well. So we've got, on that side there, on my left side, we've got most of the Eradicate Eco snail bait on there. But we're also going to sprinkle some on this side of some of the oats, just around here like that. How much do you put? Well, it's up to you really. The more you put, obviously the more of an attractant it becomes. So some of that's going on there, but we're going to do a third one now. So this is a bit of a trial. We'll see if they eat it, how we're going to work that out. Well, I'm going to come out at night while you all guys are sleeping and take some photos for you to see if they're on there. I'm not going to cheat either. I'm not going to pick up a snail and shove it on the oats, am I? Depends on how many beers I have beforehand. I don't drink beer, by the way. The third one is the beer. All you need is a little container like this. Open up the soil a little bit so that it is able to be inserted almost level to the soil surface, like that. They'll find their way in. I mean, they can get up the bloody plant like this. I'm sure they can get back into here. And what we do is put a little beer. There we are. Now what will happen is they'll be attracted to the yeast in the beer. They'll dive in, drink themselves silly and drown basically. Technically they're getting marinated. So you can come in the next morning and collect them, chuck them in the pot and make yourself escargot. Control the snails because they're out in force, folks. As the weather gets colder and we head into winter, check out our website, facilitiesgarden.com, for everything you need every day. We've got to redeem the reward points. We've got you to redeem the reward points. Get them done because we're going to launch it in a couple of weeks, give or take. That's the new website. So that's how long you've got to take up and use up all your reward points. It's free discounts, basically. You've accumulated them for nothing from shopping, and then you can redeem them and get some bigger discounts on our range. Just want you to take advantage of it before we move over. From me, Vasily, Maresi.